Hey guys, this is Kirop speaking, and in today's little dev update I'm going through some of the recent changes with the hotfixes that are still coming out for the Light Campaign V3 patch number 7, which has brought to you all kinds of goodies this time around. The last big patch of this Light Campaign V3 version is out now on the open beta, as you probably already know. It was posted on the Steam news board, and it should have auto-updated if you actually changed to the open beta branch. We are on hotfix number 2 right now. That was released early this week, and probably today, in a few hours, we will be able to release hotfix number 3, which has a few changes. But let's talk about a few of the bigger things that are coming to hotfix 3 and that have already been addressed. So first up, many of you had some issues with general performance, main menu and design rooms and so on, and that one was because of some lighting and whatnot. Stuff in the scenes that for some reason was causing massive spikes in rendering time, and that was fixed already. So if you joined the open beta and thought like, oh shit, this is awful performance, I'm not going to touch it until I fix it, we have fixed that and it should be all good again. If you still have issues though, please report them, and that is a theme throughout this video. If you see some issues, please report them and we are going to get to them. While we're not responding to every single one of your reports, we certainly do read them, unless you post them in the endless flow of Discord messages, which are easy to miss. Yeah, forums is the place to go. Steam forums or the dedicated section on the Discord and so on. And not the YouTube comments either, please. For the love of God. Don't post bug reports in the YouTube comments. This is the worst place. Yeah. Anyway, so what more has changed? Let's quickly talk. Well, can't show that much, but let's talk about engine bay sizes. Many of you have continuously complained about engine bays not being large enough or being weird and so on, and we have found one of the issues that is contributing to that, and that is tire width. What we have done previously, in order to accommodate tires better, is to shrink down the chassis width in order to have more room for the tires to grow outwards. But now we have changed how the tires are working, and they now are scaling differently, which allows us to push the chassis width further out while not limiting tire size anymore. And that means that you get more engine bay for free, so to say. Yes, so you will be able to fit some more in there and still be able to fit the same tire sizes. And yeah, that should be pretty good. Also, oh right, there was an issue with mod cars not working. That has been fixed pretty quickly. I think that was fixed in hotfix 2. And still people are having lots of morphing issues with cars, with many of the cars, not all, but many of the cars. And those issues will be fixed with hotfix 3 coming out probably today. And that is all good. Oh yes, and we, of course, now I can finally show you something. Of course, we also upgraded the lighting in the photo scenes. Which one of the Merano cars are we going to take a look at? Let's put the Allegro in the Black Mirror scene. And yeah, look at that. That lighting is just so much better than before in the scene, which was basically black. Black mirror, right? But not only the mirror is black, but everything else too. So overall, especially these kinds of white mirror, dark mirror and black mirror photo scenes have seen big improvements, but so have the Isle of Skye and some of the other photo scenes. The canal looks fantastic too. Let's load that one in. So even in lighting conditions like these, there's a lot more fill light available now, and in some harsher light, the shadows have improved a lot, as you can see. So this is all good stuff. Let's try out even at night, where it was like pitch black before. Let's see, there's some better moonlight here. Of Of course, you can change around the exposure time as well to get some more into that. Where do we have it? There, exposure. Yes, amp it up, and yeah, you can see that you can work a lot more with the lighting in here now. That is some good things happening overall to the photo scenes. Should make life easier for you to get some of those juicy shots. Also, there's a good bunch of campaign fixes coming up, and hopefully we have found the issue that was resetting your family stroke. In later years, there was something that was overwriting the save data for your engines in very specific situations, and that should be fixed. Also, starting a new game will no longer have weird side effects that with stats being taken from your old game and so on. And yeah, just changes in general. Also, oh yeah, the big one. The campaign right now is way too easy because you sell to many more people than the maximum size of that demographic. And for that, I would like to show you how the sales currently in the Light Campaign V3 actually work now that they are fixed versus how they worked in the version that you're currently playing. So a bit of transparency here and showing you spreadsheets because I love them spreadsheets. So here we are in the spreadsheet for almost blind people, and I have prepared it such that you see what is going on as best as possible. Let me explain and frame it for you so that you can follow along. This is describing the sales to a single demographic. The single demographic has a base size, and there's the awareness that is multiplying that base size. So if you have an awareness of 50%, that means that 50% of that demographic will be considered of that base size of that demographic. The base size varies with economy and time, so yeah, that needs to be considered as well. But that is one of the values that is being shown in the demographics, big demographics matrix if you go to market sizes and tick on the consider your awareness thing. And let's see. So, first things first, the competition actually doesn't sell any cars in the Light Campaign V3. That will change for Light Campaign V4, and years ago I talked about how that proper sales model works with the 99 trim problem. You might remember that, and so on, and how I solved that. And this one now will be fixed up so that it actually works similar to it, without having all the calculation stuff that is going on with competitors actually selling cars. Alright, so what happens here? We look at a single demographic, we have considered the base size and your awareness, we know how many cars you are going to sell into that, or are you? Well, that's the question now. We sort your trims, all available trims, by their competitiveness. And we only consider trims that are down to a competitiveness of 50. We subtract then 50 from the competitiveness and square the result, and of course lock out values below 50 just to cut off the calculations and save some computational time. Those are irrelevant trims anyway, no one wants them. And then that squared result is getting normalized and stuff, and then we end up with a very much not a problem if you have something that is looking like this list with 100 competitiveness, because the total sum of sales means, well, 100 competitiveness means that you are going to reach your full potential audience that is limited by your awareness. And this here turns into a sum of 1, and these are your trim sales at the moment as a fraction. So far so good, but what happens if you have a car that scores, let's not make it ridiculous, but rather like 180, that is perfectly viable. Some people can do that. Hey, Mr. Kaz, are you checking out some calculations here? Yes. So, this then turns into something that very much isn't possible. The sales multiplier just increased to a value of 2.6, which means that you're reaching 2.6 times the maximum audience size. And that means that the campaign is way too easy. So the fix here is pretty simple. You just normalize these values once again, and what comes out is a more reasonable and limit the result to 1. So now your 180 competitiveness trim is selling almost 60%, or stands for 60% of the sales into that demographic, but this here is some 1 because it was normalized. So that's all good. That's all good. And let's see how much of a difference that actually makes. If you're, oh, not 1,800, and rather, yes, you can see that 5 points in competitiveness actually make a pretty large difference to your sales, as they should. Like, why would you pass over as a buyer a model that is just superior, or a trim that is superior, and the one that has 65 sells a measly 4%. Some have bad taste, you can't change it. So yes, what this will mean is that you no longer sell into a demographic 3 times as many cars as you should be able to, and that will severely limit your profits compared to the broken state the campaign is in at the moment. I hope this will clear things up a little bit and make the campaign more fun, because right now it certainly is way too easy. Even if you play on insane difficulty, it's not as intended. And with more bugs fixed, I think this will play just fine. But of course, if you find issues, please let us know. Like this one we discovered because of your reports. So good job, guys, good job. You did find the bug and we squashed it dead. And let me see if I missed some changelog stuff. No, it's looking good. But I just remembered that I should mention that, yeah, that we've actually fixed the blur in the photo scenes as well. The one that was blocking you from seeing anything and interacting with anything. And second, well, that was this one. And second, the blur of the cars no longer smears the car. But that was already changed for the big patch release, the patch number 7, without any hotfixes. Just so that you know, in case you have been avoiding the blur because of how awful it was, now it's properly implemented and actually looks awesome. Alright, hope you enjoyed, and see you guys next time.